we doing today? Okay, so most of you just yelled in response. That's not a real answer. All right, everybody here is obviously here because it is story time. So good at this call and response. I love it. This story is one of my personal favorites, and the best part is we already own the rights to it. Yeah, that's the only reason they let me do this one. This one is Cinder Pool. You can cheer louder, it's fine. Like it. Every single show someone says that at the same time. It's so weird. Right, let me see here.
I love you, Deadpool! You suck, Deadpool!
That's not your line. It's my time to talk. Once upon a time. And see, this is the point where I usually ask everybody else to say it too, but that person ruined it, so I'm just going to go into the story. Once upon a time, Cinderpool lived in a big mansion with her step professor and a bunch of step mutants. The biggest step mutant, Colossus, was so bossy, and he always had so many rules like, make sure you close the window when the air conditioner's on, and for the love of Feige, stop Donald ducking around the mansion, why won't you just wear pants? The other step mutant, Negasonic Teenage Warhead, which is such a cool name still, she was always texting and rolling her eyes. So Gen Z. These step mutants were both very jealous of Cinderpool because Cinderpool had a much larger fan base. I know we can see that. Nobody showed up to their story time. One day, a dispensable non-union extra went running in front of the mansion grounds screaming. King Thanos was having the biggest battle of Phase 3, which we all know was the last good phase. Cinderpool desperately wanted to go to the battle, but Colossus said,
"No, it is too dangerous, and you are not a good part of the team."
Then, yeah, right, boom, ruined everything. Then they ripped apart Cinderpool's favorite costume, and Negasonic blasted it apart with her mind powers. It was so cool. So Gen Z. So on fleek, no Cap Sigma. Cinderpool was crushed. He was violated and exposed. He ran out onto the mansion grounds, stumbling for dramatic effect. When suddenly, a sparkle circle began to appear. And out of that sparkle circle stepped Cinderpool's very hairy god mutant, Wolverine! He's not here today. Playing the part of Wolverine will be a much more attractive performer, me!
Shut up, Bob.
Oh, fairy god mutant Wolverine! I desperately want to go to the big battle, but my stupid step mutant said I couldn't and destroyed my costume.
Stop whining. Go find a new one.
So Cinderpool did. He ran over to the wardrobe department, grabbed a new, freshly laundered costume, put it on, and headed to the big battle. He was late because he stopped to get some chimichangas at 7-Eleven on the way there. 7-Eleven doesn't sell chimichangas anymore, so he had to go to 3 other gas stations. But anyway, when he showed up, the Avengers were winning. Captain America looked so good. His pants were so tight. Cinderpool looked around for his fairy god mutant Wolverine, who wasn't there because Disney hadn't bought the rights to him yet. And then Cinderpool noticed, on the stairs of the alien spacecraft, a single glove. Cinderpool ran over to it, picked it up, said hi to this person's camera. And then said, I wonder who this fits. And put it on. After some buzzing, whirring, and clicking, it was a perfect fit. Then Tony Stark looked over and started screaming, no! Take that off! All the other Avengers came running too, and Tony Stark keeps going on. Please, please, this is my sacrificial moment. I don't want to be in this universe anymore. Please, these films are too much. Do not snap. So of course, Cinderpool snapped. Both physically and mentally. Cinderpool does that all the time. He just kept snapping over and over and over. People were disappearing, reappearing. It was really expensive for the VFX department. It was a whole big thing. But eventually, Cinderpool stopped. Everybody was back. Except for the people that talked during the movies, we left them behind. I didn't want any of them anymore. That's right, you were all there, you know. Cinderpool was the big hero. Then the Avengers tackled Cinderpool to the ground, ripped the glove off of his hand, and blah, blah, blah. When they remade the movie years later, Tony Stark gets to be the big hero. They CG his head onto my body, and then it goes on to become the most profitable film in the Feige universe, the FCU. Either way, it was okay because Cinderpool moved on and started his own film franchise, which will go on to break box office records. Right. And then they have to invite Cinderpool back to the Avengers Endgame 2, Electric Boogaloo. The end. Kind of stepped on the joke. I was going to say the end game, but then you all started. It's fine, whatever. Thank you so much for joining me for another story time with Deadpool. Thank you so much. Most of you are too kind. Thanks.